So first of all, thank you very much.
Thank you very
for
much.
agreeing to share your wisdom with the
That's
students
no
of the
wisdom
London
at all.
College
Yes.
of Communication.
In my case, the first screenplay was a half-hour sitcom, and I was inspired by a breakup, and it was just sort of about my relationship with her and her family, and it was a very long relationship. So it's sort of catharsis.
Is there any advice that you wish you'd...
My advice would be
you'd known?
not to write a sitcom about you and your ex-girlfriend, because it wasn't very good. Actually, it was good, but it was produced badly. So, you know, the thing that was supposed to be catharsis ended up being, you know, working on this story for 2 years and it coming out and doing terribly. Very slowly and painfully, because you're sort of publicly humiliated and you remember every single review word for word that was scathing and personal. So it's very hard. Actually, you do have to, I suppose, especially with comedy, which is people get very vitriolic and stuff like that. They take it very personally. So it's you do develop a thicker skin, which is a good thing, and we did as a result of that, and the years that followed. It was all a very good experience because, you know, we've been crucified publicly, and it can't get much worse than that.
Yeah, and the most recent reviews obviously more than make up for
They make up for it, but you know, it means you live in a constant state of waiting for that to happen again, which means you're constantly working harder to make the thing good. I think, hopefully, maybe. I don't know.
So actually, that's quite a good.
It is a good thing,
then.
yeah. You're sort of living in fear, which is healthy. I don't miss anything about. I don't miss anything. It's exhausting. It's really hard, and anyone who does well in it is, you know, hats off, because it's like drama. You've got to tell a story, and you've got to be really funny, and you've got to be really original. And doing those three things is very hard indeed. So yes, producing people like Phoebe for the show Fleabag is a joy, because we can make the production qualities all work and do all, you know, not make all the mistakes we made on the shows we had, and just let her be funny and, you know, do her thing, which she's very good at, much better than we ever were. So me and Jack will do, between us, quite a lot of drafts before anyone sees it. And before that, we'll have a full outline of what that story is. So we'll have broken it down and got a scene-by-scene thing, and discussed all the characters. And during that process, we'll have fixed all the holes, hopefully. I mean, obviously, when it comes to writing, things come up and you go, oh, actually, that person's dead, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? There'll be things that you go, oh, we didn't think of that.
Yeah.
But you'll always notice them, because you've done all that work in the past. You're in the moment writing the scene and making that good, and you're seeing it in a different way. So it's actually easier to see those holes once you've done all that discussion beforehand and done all that homework, as it were. Everyone wants to jump in and go, no, I'm just going to write it now, and you're like, just stop, please, because then you fall in love with scenes and you think, well, I've written this wonderful scene, and you're like, but it doesn't mean anything if the story doesn't work, so you're going to have to get rid of it, and you're going to hate that, and no one's going to be happy. So knowing that story and that document works beforehand, that's the big thing for us. We discuss what kind of scene it's going to be, what kind of tone is, and how it will play, and have references for that. So it'll be like, this is a Fargo-esque like scene where it's an oddball character with a briefcase in the middle of the snow, you know. So we'll be very specific about the tone and the feel of it. And very rarely we'll always write over each other's stuff. So we write half each, then swap it, and then go over the other ones, and you're allowed to do whatever you want to theirs. And sometimes you can go, I missed that bit, I kind of hoped that would stay in, and if you really want it, you can kind of have it. But then at the end of the day, a bunch of people watch it in a dark room, and somebody will go, oh, I hate that bit, and you're like, oh, why did I fight for that? In a way, you know...
It all evens out in the end.
It all evens out in the end, and if there's a battle you really want to win, like, you'll win it. It's not, you know, if you're passionate about something, but it's not, we never argue about it.
Yeah.
We have done alone. You know, the first sitcom I did, I wrote on my own initially, and I wrote shows after on my own, as did he. We work best as a duo because we complement each other's skills. Yeah, I'd rather not. It's more fun.
Yeah.
So lonely on your own. Yes, that's the best thing to do, because everyone gives you notes, including the runners and the costume, you know, everyone, which is great, actually. I think everyone should be able to give you notes. There's nothing that, you know, a network executive has that a costume person has that is any different in terms of their quality of note. They're still a person watching a story or a show. So well, that's the thing, but then the problem is if you let all of them in, you'll be absolutely screwed and never get any work done. And the whole thing would just change without there being a sense of authorship. So it's about going... Quite often people are identifying a sort of area of, you know, where there's a problem, and actually the job then is to go, okay, there's a problem with this area, and actually it may not be the note they're saying, but how do I fix it and make it work for everyone? So it's sort of interpreting what is wrong with the story or bumping for a lot of people, and then trying to hone in and fix that.
Mm-hmm.
But as you say, not just listening to everyone and doing all their notes and trying to find the ones that you agree with, really.
Yeah.
Yes, in every project, and it has to go out for you to find it and it do well. I think certainly it's the process of production that's very wearing, because everyone's read the script 100 times, they're used to seeing it. Everyone kind of takes them for granted, so they start sort of knocking them around, and you start thinking, oh God, is this thing actually getting slightly worse through the process of notes from a mad lead actor or actress or a director or a network. So you get frustrated with that, and then in the edit, you know, people come up with crazy things that are sort of putting it in under threat in terms of moments you like or the feel of the thing, and you suddenly think, oh God, actually, is this any good? And you lose faith in the whole thing and want to kill yourself. And that's where I am right now.
Really?
Yeah.